Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Well, how are we all doing this Saturday night? Saturday Night Fever. Saturday night, Ollie McBurney, Dean Henderson, Egan, Osborne, any other names I can remember from that team. Muzzy, McGoldrick. You gave Chelsea one hell of a beating and we are very, very, very grateful. And I tell you what, I hope you get top 4 or 5th as well because you wiped the floor with Chelsea and you've basically given us the opportunity, which I knew was going to come for Manchester United. I knew this was coming, but, you know, I got laughed at. I got laughed at by some United fans, but some of you were with me. I said in lockdown, United will get 3rd, and people were like, hold up, Goldbridge, you're going a little bit too far there. Leicester are 8 points ahead of us. We need people to do us favours again with Chelsea. It's going to be very difficult. We have still got 4 Premier League games to go, and we are literally touching 3rd, and we've got to play Leicester. Beat Southampton on Monday night and we're above Chelsea and we're in 4th place. So it's going to happen. Bada bing, bada boom. Stay confident. Look, the only thing that can mess this up, and I don't want to hear the word jinx. I don't want to hear anything like that. I want to hear Manchester United players listening and getting the job done. This is, I don't want fear. I don't want trepidation. I don't want people saying, oh, let's just be a little bit careful here. The opportunity is opened up. The pubs are open. Get here and get in and get the pints in. But no, don't go drinking, United players. But what I mean is, let's not be scared of this opportunity. Let's not be like Arsenal. Oh, look, there's an opportunity. Let's run away. Let's go and take the opportunity. We're playing fantastically well. We are the informed team in the league. We're at home to Southampton. Let's go and beat Southampton and let's get top 4 done. It's there for us to do. We deserve it. We deserve it. Chelsea have lost 11 games. We haven't lost 11 games. We deserve it. We deserve to get top 4. Let's go get it. Let's go get Jadon Sancho. Let's go get our future. Get your coat on. We've pulled. Anyway, I have got to talk about Jadon Sancho because there has been an update from Borussia Dortmund around a price demand there. But let's get straight into the Southampton preview first because we're excited about that Sheffield United result. They've beaten Chelsea 3-0. Chelsea remain 2 points ahead of us, but we have a game in hand effectively on them now. We win it, we go above Chelsea, which means we're in the top 4. If Leicester don't beat Bournemouth tomorrow, we could even go into 3rd on Monday night. But look, let's take it a step at a time. And also, Man City's ban is apparently going to be announced on Monday. Will they get off? Will they get the ban? So on Monday, we might even know that the position we're already in is a good position. But we must be very careful of that because Sheffield United play Leicester on Thursday. If we stop dropping points again, Sheffield United could join the party. So it's all on for United. It's all on. And Southampton will be a very difficult game. I like the preview because I like to talk about the tactical side of things, of course. And Southampton, I'd prepped this all before this game anyway, but Southampton have had a very, their manager, I'm just going to call him Ralph because I can't pronounce his second name. Let's hope he's not Wreck-It Ralph on Monday night. We're going to call him Ralph. Formerly of RB Leipzig, Austrian manager, I think he got them promoted and took them to 2nd place behind Bayern Munich. So he had a good pedigree before he came to Southampton, revolutionised them, very good season last season, and then bad start to the season, but then a brilliant turnaround from being beaten 9-0 by Leicester in the bottom 3 and took them to basically touching on being on that fight for sort of like between 10th and 6th. It's going to be a difficult game for United. It's probably our hardest game we've got left. And bear with me for a moment because I think that the way Southampton play tactically is probably better than superior than the way that Palace play or West Ham play. And maybe even Leicester in a way because Leicester are a bit of a counter-attacking, good defensive side. Southampton, the way they play is like this. Quite similar to Klopp in many ways. A high press and a very fast progression of the ball. So that's what United are going to be up against. That's how they play. I mean, look, Danny Ings is in contention for top goal scorer. So, they score goals. And actually, since the lockdown, I think they've conceded 4 goals in 5 games. So they don't concede many goals. They're scoring goals. They beat Man City on Monday. They play an high energetic game of football. They'll press us high up the pitch. I think it's going to be a challenge. But you know what? I think we're going to beat them 3-0. I think we are going to be the first team to give them a bit of a beating after lockdown. And you know why? Because we're playing so bloody well. I'm not scared of Southampton. I think they're a good team and I think they'll come and try and play football. But the way to beat Southampton is to bypass their press. And we've got 2 players who are fantastic at that. Paul Pogba, Nemanja Matic, you bypass the press, you get it into our front 3 and you score goals. And you've got Bruno to conduct it. So look, I think in a very, very quick whirlwind tour of how Southampton play there, good footballing side, high press, move the ball quick players on the break, can score goals, but they ain't going to sit back and park the bus. That's not what they're going to do. And they are going to try and play football. And I think we'll be better than them at football. These are the sort of games where, you know what? I feel like the old United's coming back. I feel like going, you know what? That's Southampton. Good luck to you. Look at your squad. Look at our squad. Look at the way you're playing. Look at the way you're playing. Let's come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. And we just go and beat them. I don't think they're a team that we need to tactically assess any more than that. I respect them. They're definitely the banana skin of the next 4 games. I'm not fearful of West Ham. I'm not fearful of Palace. Leicester's going to be the cup final on the last game of the season if it needs to be. This is the one. You get over this one, and it's at Old Trafford anyway. You get over this one, and I think we've got it. We've got it done. Benji Darkin says, stop the Saeed abuse on Twitter. Racism in 2020 after recent events. Love the show, Mark. Just needed to be said. Top 4, here we come. I'm not aware of what's going on Twitter, but if anything like that is going on Twitter, it's a disgrace. And look, the United fan base in general just needs to stop it. You know, we've got such a great fan base, and I know so many fans from all over the world: Manchester, England, America, India, everywhere. We're a fantastic fan base, and we're having a great time at the moment. And yet, still, I see people trying to divide. It's bloody ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. The lies and bullshit that gets spread out around by people because they're bitter and twisted, and basically they just think they're better than everybody else. Oh, because I was born in Salford or whatever like that. I know loads of United fans from Salford. They are brilliant, brilliant people. So why do we have to get a minority of fans? And it's not just from Salford. You get some from London. You get some from Ireland. They think they're super Reds. Like, we all support this club. If you don't like somebody's opinion, don't bloody listen to it and do your own opinion, and then maybe your great opinion will start getting listened to more than somebody else's. But ultimately, we support the same bloody club, you know. And if you've got an opinion, why are you not coming on the channel anyway, you know? Matic is going to be key against the press and will have to play sharper than last time, says PMV Patrick. Maguire, Lindelof and Matic are going to be key because we do play out from the back and they will press us high up the pitch. Also, Bradaj says, do you think Rashford is affected by the spotlight taken off him by Bruno and Greenwood, especially losing penalty and free kick rights? Well, look, you know, I mean, if Marcus Rashford was hiding behind scoring penalties and that's why he was scoring a lot of goals, then obviously that's going to take something away from him. But we shouldn't be letting Marcus Rashford take penalties just to bump his stats up. I don't think Marcus Rashford's a penalty taker. I don't think that's why he was one of the best left wingers in the world before he got his back injury. So I just think Marcus Rashford's taken a little bit time to get to the level of the other players. But let's not forget, Martial, Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba, they're sort of not even playing very well. They're playing exceptionally well, on the verge of top class every single... Well, they virtually are top class. I think Marcus Rashford's playing well. And I think when you're playing well and everyone else is playing top class, obviously you're going to notice the difference. I don't think he's playing badly, though. Welcome to Stuart Betts, latest member of the United Stand Members Clubs. Thanks for joining anybody who is a member. Really appreciate your support. As much as I love all the goals, I really want to see how we cope in a tight 1-0 dogfight. Can we keep our nerve under pressure, says Michael Gibbs. I really do not want to see that, Michael. I do not want to see how we focus and deal with a 1-0 last 10-minute back to the wall job. I don't want to see that. I want to see us keep winning 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 all the way to the end of the season. And then I'll tell you what, I'd like to see how we're doing a 1-0 game against Last Links in that second leg. I'll take it then. We wake up at 12 a.m. to watch us play and some call themselves top Reds. Love your reaction to these morons, says SR. I don't even call them morons. I just say we all support the same club. Why do we have to argue amongst each other? I don't get it. The club's doing fantastically well. We've got enough people to argue with outside of the club without arguing amongst ourselves. That's sort of my stance on it. And I think when there's debates to be had about, you know, is Ollie good enough? Is this player good enough? When things are going bad, fine, you're going to get a lot of division and everything like that. That's just natural because everyone wants what's best and everyone's got their own idea. But when things are going well and you're arguing about who's a better fan, I mean, shut up. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. I haven't watched Jadon play a lot except a few friendlies. Does he have interchanging ability like our front three, or is he an out-and-out right-sided player, says Akil Rashid. I think that Jadon Sancho would fit in perfectly with Manchester United. And let's talk about that, actually, because there is an update. Obviously, I've put it in the title, Sancho price demand. So this is coming from Michael Zorg again, who is obviously a key person at Borussia Dortmund. And to answer that question, though, because I don't want to skirt the issue, Jadon Sancho is not an out-and-out right winger. Jadon Sancho can play on the left. He's played from the left. He's played from the right. and he can swap, and he can probably play as an attacking midfielder as well. He's not a striker. He can't play as a striker. I think Greenwood and Rashford and Martial can do that, as well as go wide. Jadon Sancho is more of a creator. He can play off the right, he can play off the left. So he'd fit in perfectly with Manchester United in that sense. What has been said by Michael Zorg is that they're very happy with the contract that Jadon Sancho has got. They'd like to see him staying next season, and that they are 100% on the fact that if he was to go, their price expectations must be met. Now, some people seem to think that this means we're not getting him because their price expectation is 130 million euros. Get out, get out, get out. They are not getting that amount of money for Jadon Sancho. And what they are doing is what I said they were doing a couple of days ago. This is the second time this week we've had to speak about comments coming out of Borussia Dortmund. They are softening up their fans for the expectation that they're going to sell. All this talk a few weeks ago of we want this amount of money, we're not going to sell, is now becoming we'll only sell if we get the right deal for us and we'd love him to stay. This is the talk of a player that's going. This is the talk of a player they know wants to leave, and this is the talk of a club that is softening up their fans for him to leave. This is not... I mean, I saw Manchester Evening News, and I don't know where they were quoting it from, that they want 120 million. I'm sure they do want 120 million. They're not getting 120 million. Not because Jadon Sancho's not worth 120 million, but because in this market, nobody can pay 120 million. And Dortmund are not in a position to keep Jadon Sancho unless he signs a new contract, because he's got 2 years left on his contract. So they're not in a comfortable position to say, stay with us, Jadon, because if he stays for another year, he's gone in the summer next year, which is not that far away now, because it's bloody July this year. In a year's time, he's gone, and he's gone for about 60 million because he's only got a year left on his contract. So they're waving goodbye to a very good deal with Manchester United if they don't let him go this summer. And also, Sancho doesn't want to wait another year. So everything points to the fact that this deal will be done. I think it's just manoeuvring. It's putting the right words out there, that it's not going to be a shock to their fans if he does go. 85 million is my guess. That's always been my thing. Duncan says that racists belong in the stone age. Half of our team is black, for goodness sake. Love the channel, keep it up, says Duncan. Thanks for the super chat, pal. And also, yeah, we have the best team, but Southampton do seem to be a thorn in our side over the years. I like to see caution, but yet still attack hard, says Ray Cowley. I think, look, what do you do? What do you do against Southampton? We know they're going to press high. We know they're going to move the ball quick. We know they're going to try and score goals. At Old Trafford, and Manchester United with Bruno, Pogba, Marcus Rashford, Greenwood and Martial, are we going to sit back and try and soak up the pressure and hit them on the break? No. We're going to have to go and attack them. And if the game ends 3-2, it ends 3-2. But I don't think we'll concede. I think we'll win 3-0. I do. I think Southampton are a good team, but I think we're a very, very good team at the moment. And I do respect Southampton, but I think we will beat them. Given that we've had 5 matches in 12 days, don't you think we should be resting Bruno and Pogba and bring them in as substitutes for the next 2 games, says Trivid. I don't get... Thanks for the super chat. I do not get this mentality. Did people not watch the Chelsea game today? Giroud's played most games, and he brings Tammy Abraham in for a game where Giroud was perfect, because Sheffield United play with 3 centre-backs who are very good in the air. He also made a couple of other changes. This is a prime example. Do not change your team. I don't understand. I have to respect it because it obviously is some of your opinions. But why, in our biggest game of the season, do you want to change a winning team? That team, I've not even mentioned it. I've not said nothing, because if it's not that team, what the hell are we doing? That's the team. That's the team we play. Every bloody game until the end of the season, we play that team. They're hungry, they're happy, they're motivated, they are winning, they are in a groove. You do not change. It's like a pair of running shoes, isn't it? If you've won every race in your running shoes and Nike Air or bloody Reebok or somebody turn up and say, look, we've got a new pair for you, you're going to put them on. Bollocks. There's nothing wrong with these shoes. I'm winning in these shoes. I'm not putting them on. Might get bloody blisters. I know that they might not feel comfortable. No, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I can't do it anymore because of injury or the sole comes off or something like that. You keep going with the same team. You can't do that. What if we pick McTominay and Fred and we rest Pogba and Bruno and we're 2-0 down after half an hour because Southampton are the better team? Are you coming back from 2-0 down? You can't do that. You go with your strongest team. 100%. Every game is a cup final now. It would be... Ollie won't do it anyway, but it would be absolutely ridiculous to do the great work that we've done, to win the games that we've won, to put ourselves in this position, and then with 4 cup finals to come against Southampton, West Ham, Palace and Leicester, we start resting players. Rest players in the Europa League. Don't take them to the Europa League. Couldn't give a shit about the Europa League if it means that we play our best team between now and the end of the season. This gets us Champions League football. I want us to win the Europa League, but if you want to rest players, do it in August. Do not do it in July. All we're asking these players to do is play for 6 weeks. They started in mid-June, play to the end of July, and you can have a few weeks off. Don't even give a shit about the Europa League, but do not rest players in these games. What would your starting 11 be using players from only top 6 teams in the league, says Bobby. Not the channel for it. Thanks for the super chat, Bobby, but it's a United channel. I can't start talking about top 6 players, best 11s. I'll do it on That's Football tomorrow on the London Derby for you, I promise. Night King says it's going to be a long transfer window, Mark, with Dortmund dragging Sancho price tag and Woodward won't meet it until the end of the window. Frustrating. Actually, Bobby, can I just say top 6-11? Let's just put the United side out. There you go. And I've answered your super chat. Do you think Sanchez can be a good role player for us next season? Also, cheers to United fans in the States. Sanchez? Oh, I tell you what. The opinions are all over the place tonight. I don't know what it is. What's everybody been drinking? What's in the water? We've had rest players, and now we've had, can Sanchez be a good role model next season? What's going on? What, have I missed something? Have I been dreaming the last few weeks? Are we? Is this not true? Are we not this great team that doesn't need Alexis Sanchez and doesn't need to rest players? Erling Haaland or Greenwood, great show, says Jimmy Ward. Greenwood. And even if we get top 4 and Sancho and Pogba wants to go to Madrid, who would you take from them? 2-player or cash plus thing, says SR. I'm not even thinking. These are things that I'm just not thinking about at the moment. I'm not thinking about Pogba leaving because I'm thinking about winning on Monday night. I'm thinking about getting top 4. I'm thinking about getting Jadon Sancho, and I'm thinking about getting into a title race next season. That's what I'm thinking about. And then I'm thinking, if Pogba doesn't want to be part of that next season and he wants to go to Real Madrid, well, he's not an ambitious player, is he? He just wants to play for Real Madrid. Off you go. We'll deal with it then. But I think that if we do all these things that we're on the track to do at the moment, Paul Pogba will stay anyway. As for what I want from Real Madrid, I don't want anyone from Real Madrid. I want Paul Pogba. Not too worried about Ings. I'm more concerned about Ward-Prowse on set pieces. Their big, hideous centre-backs are going to crowd De Gea, says PMV Patrick. Well, he scored a banging free kick. I mean, actually, you know what? Southampton against United at Old Trafford last season, I was at that game. Bloody hell, it was a great game, but they nearly did it. I think they were 2-1 up, weren't they? And we came back and won 3-2. But they were very good that day, and they played without fear. Was it their right back scored a banger? I think. Do you feel sorry for Frank and his boys for their loss today? Says Jenks 110. Oh yeah, I really feel sorry for Chelsea. I'm really struggling at the moment to work through my sorrow towards Chelsea and the fact that they've opened up the door for Manchester United for top 4. Sarcasm pouring from my pores. Sean Turner, once we get top 4, should Ollie rest our best team during the Europa League so they get a longer rest for the new season? Well, look, I don't really want that to happen because I want us to win the Europa League and I think the players will want to play. But if we get top 4 and Ollie decides it's best to rest some players, then it's best to rest some players, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But look, would Greenwood lose form if Sancho replaces him, says Josh Hill. I think there's some silly comments being made tonight. I really do. Because we're not listening. We're not listening to what we've been talking about as a fan base for the last 3 weeks. Don't change your best 11. Sell Alexis Sanchez. Sign Jadon Sancho. Sancho is not going to ruin Greenwood's development. I get tired of having to say this. I don't get why people think that Sancho's going to impact on Greenwood or anybody else. Because I don't think these people who think that actually think it through to the level of what it means to be a successful club. And maybe we've got some fans who just only supported the club because of age since in the unsuccessful period. But I'm telling you now, you don't win titles with Greenwood, Martial and Rashford because they don't play every single game next season. You need Jadon Sancho, and you need even more than that because there's going to be injuries, loss of form. Greenwood will play loads of games next season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played loads of games for Manchester United. He was never a starter, and he played loads of games because there's loads of games to play in when you're a successful side. So, I ain't worried about Greenwood. On one hand, how can you say that Mason Greenwood's one of the best young players in the world and then be scared of us signing Jadon Sancho? There's loads of games. There's loads of positions he can play. So it doesn't worry me at all in the slightest. But I tell you what, Manchester United, we are there. We've got it in our hands. We've got it in our hands. We're not there yet. We can destroy it, but we've got it in our hands. Chelsea lose to Sheffield United. United beat Southampton. We are definitely into fourth, maybe even third if Leicester drop points to Bournemouth tomorrow. Then we've got a game on Thursday when Leicester play Sheffield United. We could be third place this time next week. Before we even play Leicester, we could be third place. And I said that as well. I predicted in lockdown, I said we'll get third. People laughed. A few weeks ago, I said, you know what? We might even be third before we play Leicester. We might not even need to beat Leicester to get third. We might not. I'd love to go to Leicester and they've got to beat us. I would love that. I want to go to Leicester and they need to beat us. I think the assumption was that if we could get past Leicester, we'd have to go to Leicester and beat them on the last game of the season. I'll tell you what, I hope they've got to beat us, because Leicester having to come at us, they'll get destroyed. We'll definitely win them. And I think that will be the reality. I think Leicester's next few games, Sheffield United, Spurs, Bournemouth, before they play us, I can see them dropping points. Chelsea's next few games are Norwich, Leicester and Wolves. I can see them dropping points. All we've got to do is beat Southampton, Palace and West Ham. And that Leicester game, I don't think it'll even matter. I really don't. I really, really don't. Also, just want to say on Chelsea for a moment. Chelsea fans, some of them, I know a lot of Chelsea fans. In fact, my dad's a Chelsea fan. I know a lot of Chelsea fans, and they're nice people. But as with every bit of the fan base, there are some that get a bit gobby. And I was listening to stuff today online about how great Ziyech is, and somebody even posted up a picture of Ziyech's stats at Ajax against Bruno's stats at Sporting Lisbon, and Ziyech has got better stats at Ajax, right? So it's all about, wow, they're all going off about Bruno at the moment, but when we get Ziyech, he's better, right? Tell you what, Chelsea fans, you think Ziyech's better than Bruno Fernandes. When Ziyech comes in whatever month we start the new season, he needs to win 2 consecutive Player of the Months from the Premier League. He needs to win Goal of the Season in the Premier League. He needs to stay unbeaten. He needs to get 7 goals and 6 assists. And if he does all of that, and he's got to do that in his first 10 games, if he does all that in his first 10 games, he'll only be as good as Bruno. Now, you're telling me he's going to get 2 Player of the Months, Goal of the Month, be unbeaten, get 7 goals and 6 assists, and he's probably done a load of other stuff as well. Kiss my arse. That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's what, when you start talking nonsense, you get turned over by Sheffield United. Schooled by Sheffield United. Absolutely tactically schooled by Sheffield United they were. Tactically destroyed. Lampard started off with a 4-2. What did he start off with? It was a back 4. 4-3-3. Goes behind. Half time goes to a 5-2-3. Still losing. Goes to a 5-2. What did he do? He got rid of the 3, didn't he? He went a 5-2, a 5-1-2-2. Still got schooled. And then I think he went 4-2-4. Still got schooled. He could not get anything out of Chris Wilder today. And these clubs dare to compare themselves to us. And we've beaten them. We've beaten Chelsea 3 times this season. I think we'll beat them in the FA Cup as well. But to be honest with you, if they beat us in the FA Cup and we get knocked out of the FA Cup but we get top 4, I couldn't give a damn. I really couldn't give a damn. The FA Cup doesn't get you in the Champions League. De Gea and Maguire need to be on it, or their enormous centre-backs are going to get at us from corners and cause us real damage, as Morgan Log. I ain't worried about this. People talking about Southampton's big defenders. Oh, God, look at Southampton's. Why are they so big? I'm not bothered about Southampton. I'm not. We need to get into this mindset, and we need the players in this mindset. We're Manchester United. Stop. I'll tell you how Southampton play, because that's what we do in the preview. But we're Manchester United. They should be scared of us. I ain't scared of Southampton's big centre-backs. Oh, look. Oh, I'll get a bloody stepladder and push them over. I ain't bothered about Southampton's. We will beat Southampton. We must respect Southampton, and we must know what they're good at, and the players and the manager and the coaching staff will do that. But we go and implement our game. Let them worry about us. What do you think old Ralph is thinking tonight? Watching, looking Man United videos. Is he there going, oh, we'll just get loads of set pieces and we'll hurt him with our big defenders? He'll be like, what am I going to do against Rashford, Greenwood and Martial without bloody dealing with Pogba and Bruno and Matic? What am I going to do? And that's the fear, and that's what United need to be. Ankush says, Grealish more important than Sancho. If Pogba or Bruno gets injured, we are back being old United. Brian McNevin says, don't feed the trolls, Mark. Ziyad will probably start as a squad player at Chelsea. Shepherd says, Mark, ever thought of doing United Stand around the world? United Stand Africa would be great. I don't know how that would work, but it sounds great. Mark, does it really matter how much we paid for Sancho? Because he's still going to be worth 100 million in 5 years' time, so get the deal done, says Kenneth. Niladri says, we have to win on Monday, biggest of the remaining games, even bigger than the one against the Foxes. We have struggled to capitalise in recent times. You know, on that though, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, every time Chelsea mess up, we mess up. And I think, well, am I missing something here? Chelsea lost against West Ham a week ago, didn't they? And did we not win as well? So we have capitalised on game weeks, but I suppose they have had the bad result, and now we need to capitalise. But look, if we can't beat Southampton at Old Trafford playing the way we are, then we're our own worst enemy, aren't we? I can sit here and say we're going to do it. You can sit here and say we're going to do it. I can tell you we're going to get top 4. I can tell you we're going to finish 3rd. And if we don't do it, it's going to be on the players, isn't it? Because we know how Ollie wants them to play. We know how they can play. If they go and have bad days, I tell you what, over half that team's going to have a bad day. I thought Wan-Bissaka had a bad day the other night. I don't think Matic was at his best. We still trounced Aston Villa because 4 or 5 other players were on their game. I think we've got too many good players at the moment. You'd need Bruno, Pogba, Martial, Greenwood, Rashford to have a bad game not to win on Monday night. And I don't think that happens. I think they're too motivated, they're too hungry, and they're too focused on doing what we deserve. And that's the big thing for me now. I think there was always a feeling that we were so bad at the start of the season, losing to the Watfords and the Burnleys and the Crystal Palace and the Bournemouths and the Newcastles, drawing to the Villas and the Southamptons. We dropped so many points, and the Burnleys. We dropped so many points. And there's been a big thing in the fan base that, look, Bruno's turned it around, but do we actually deserve this top 4? We were so bad at the start of the season. We bloody deserve it. The players, the manager, the fans, we need to understand this. We bloody deserve top 4. It's not our fault it's been a shit league. It is. Chelsea have bloody lost 11 games, as I said. Leicester look bang average. We deserve top 4. And the players need to go and get it because they deserve it. We don't need to feel guilty about it. It's not because of lockdown. We deserve it. Everyone else has been crapper than us. We deserve top 4. We don't deserve 2nd and we don't deserve 1st, but we deserve 3rd or 4th. And let's go get it and let's build on that. Because I tell you what, I saw somebody saying today, United fans celebrating the fact that they're going to get 3rd. That's not even good enough for a club like that. Well done. Well done. Well done. I think it was a Liverpool fan who said it. Well done. It's not good enough. You know what? It's not good enough that United get 3rd, but we deal with what we've got. We haven't been anywhere near this good for 7 years. So we will celebrate this, but we know we need better. We can't have better at the moment. We can't win the league. We can't celebrate winning the league, but we can celebrate what we're doing, get 3rd place, and then we go up another level. It's progression. Rome wasn't built in a day. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Welcome to Michael Venikins, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thanks for joining, pal. Really appreciate that. Get your little badge next to your name. Mark, if you want to join the Members Club, click the join button, by the way. Mark, would we have beaten Sheffield United today? They've improved since we played them. Also, we have to win Monday night, but we've always screwed up when we are in the position this season already, says Robert O'Malley. We would have beaten Sheffield United tonight. Yeah. Sheffield United aren't Barcelona. They're not Liverpool. They're a very good side. They are tactically astute, but we would have beaten Sheffield United today because we've got the players to do it. We would have beaten them. We wouldn't have beaten them 3-0. They were fantastic today. They were well organised. They were fantastic. But remember, we went to Bramall Lane and we got a 3-3 draw. We were 2-0 down before Christmas without Bruno, without Pogba, and we got a 3-3 draw. So we've played a decent Sheffield United. The team that came to Old Trafford wasn't the team tonight. I agree. I think that's what you're getting at. But we can only beat what's in front of us. And, we'd draw against that Sheffield United side. Maybe we would. I'm not going to get arrogant, but we're a very good side. Believe in it. I ain't worried about Monday night. We can only lose that game ourselves. I ain't worried about Sheffield. I'm not worried about Southampton. If we play how we can, we'll win. Zandy Games, welcome. Latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Shepherd Pandeka, welcome. Volks Aaron says, do you think there is a slim chance getting Smalling back from his loan will stop us buying centre back? I think world class centre or don't bother. I don't think Smalling wants to come back. I don't think I've actually said that before because I don't see Smalling coming back because I don't think Smalling wants to come back. I think he's enjoying himself in Rome. I think he's enjoying playing first team football. And I don't think he wants to be back at United unless he's a first teamer. And I don't think Ollie sees him as a first teamer. So I think that's why he left in the first place, was to get first team football. So I don't think that scenario will actually develop. I really don't. But interestingly, on Bruno Fernandes, there is a lot of people saying he's overrated. Not in our fan base. If you've been following this channel for a long time, people will know when it comes to Bruno Fernandes, I had an obsession that went back a long, long time. I was convinced this player would do well, and it's not surprised me at all. I knew we should have bought him. We should have bought him last summer, la-di-da, whatever. But I've sort of moved my obsession to something else now. This unbelievable criticism that gets lamed against him. Oh, he's only got 7 goals because they're all penalties. Look, I choose to look at Bruno Fernandes for what he really is. What Manchester United missed until we got him. We were a side that had to park the bus because we couldn't create anything. We had no number 10 and we were a very poor side. Since Bruno's came in, the whole team has improved. We create lots of chances. And that, for me, is what Bruno's about. I'm not bothered about the penalties. I'm not bothered about the goals. He will score goals. That's what he always did. But Bruno is a creator. He's a number 10. So when I look at Bruno, I don't look at the 7 goals in 10 games. I look at the 6 assists in 10 games. I look at the fact that he is number 1 amongst any attacking midfielder in the Premier League when it comes to assists per game. And that beats De Bruyne. Bruno Fernandes percentage is 0.6 per game. He creates 0.6 goals per game. So it's not, one chance a game would be great, but 0.6 is a very good score. Bruno Fernandes is around a Kevin De Bruyne is around a 0.5. That is not penalties. That's nothing to do with penalties. Bruno Fernandes is the best player in the Premier League when it comes to goals per game, assists per game. And people will say, well, he's hardly played any games. He's played 10 games. There's 38 games in a Premier League season. 10 is enough of a sample. Now, look, I'll give Kevin De Bruyne credit. I think De Bruyne is a better player than Bruno at the moment. But I think Bruno can become as good. And he's right up there. And that is what I mean. When people are critical of Bruno, saying he's overrated, he's not that good, he's all about penalties, I look at what Bruno Fernandes brings to that team. And I look at the little flicks, you look at that, the sending off in the cup against, who was it we knocked at? Norwich. That Agallo got the sending off, but it was Bruno's flick that allowed it to happen. He's a creator. He's the focal point of the team. And they're the stats I look at with Bruno. The goals are great, and he will score goals, and he will score penalties. But the goals that he creates, there is no better attacking midfielder in the Premier League at the moment. He surpasses De Bruyne when it comes to assists per game. And the sample size is big now. It's not a handful of games, it's 10. 10 games, 6 assists. I expect after 20 games, he'll have around 10 to 12 assists. I don't see it dropping off. He's going to be consistently the best attacking midfielder in this league with Kevin De Bruyne. It will be those two, and that's what United have got. If you could choose between Alphonso Davies, Frankie de Jong and Varane, or Sancho, Grealish and Declan Rice, picking either will exclude the other forever. Who are you picking? Says Zed Gamer Highlights. I'll go with Sancho, Grealish and Declan Rice. I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm not really in for that sort of thing tonight. I think I can't really be up for, would you do this? Would you rest them? Is Sancho going to impact on Greenwood? What's going to happen when we're in the Europe next year? Where are we going to finish in the season next year? I mean, I'm not feeling that tonight. I'm not feeling that tonight. And I'm not feeling that tonight because I'm so happy with the now. I don't want to talk about the future or resting players. I want to see that 11 on that pitch on Monday night, beating Southampton in the United way and ramming home our momentum and ramming up the rivals' words right up their arse, because I think United are back, and I think we're going to continue to be back. I'm not worried. I'm not jinxing it. I'm not worried. We should go and win on Monday night, and we should grab this moment, and I think Ollie and the players will, and I think they feel the same. Great show, Mark. Always my favourite to watch. If we don't sign Sancho or Grealish, who would you like to see us sign most? Cody, Ricardo. It's not Cody's fault. I'm just getting the same sort of questions, and I'm like, I don't give it. I want Sancho and Grealish. Why are we accepting second best? Why are we worried about Southampton? Why are we worried about Sancho? stopping Greenwood's. Why are we talking about resting players? Why are we talking if we don't get Grealish and Sancho? What shit shall we get? Go and get the best. Go and get the 3 points against Southampton. Go and put your best team out. Go and get Grealish and Sancho. I don't want second best. I don't want alternatives. I want the players that want to come to this club that will make us better. Get Sancho and Grealish. Don't go getting Traore and bloody Declan Rice. Get the bloody best. Beat Southampton. This is the mentality that I can see Ollie's trying to get this in. This is the mentality we need to go with. We're too used to settling for second best because of the last 6 years. What is happening with United is very, 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 very reminiscent of what we had under Sir Alex. I remember it vividly, and a lot of you will as well. We've got to stop with the rest players. Ooh, let's not bring a good player in because it might impact another player that we've already got. Sod that. Get 2 good players in. Let them fight it out. It's called a winning mentality. Let's not get second-rate players. Let's get the players that make us good. Welcome to Mohammed, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Mirborn says, since Bruno, goals conceded, Man United 4, Leicester 12. I mean, I don't think Bruno really has an impact on what happens in the defensive side of things, but, it's still a good stat. We need to grasp this opportunity, then third is ours. Glory Man United. Love this channel, Mark. Not missed a video since I started watching about a year ago. Keep up the good content. Thanks for that super chat from Michael Venikins. And I think when teams press high, Lindelof and Maguire are able to cope with Matic's CDM. We're going to win easily. What's the news on Sancho, Mark? Says Akash. Well, the Sancho news has been discussed, but effectively Dortmund are saying that they if he's going to go, they want their price expectations to be met and they'd like him to stay. But to me, that's just softening up their fans. I'm not worried about it. I think we'll get him. I do. I really do. Look, I probably got myself a little bit too excited tonight, but I am excited. Chelsea have dropped points. Top 4 can be ours. This team is going somewhere. We've got a fantastic player in Bruno Fernandes. Let's go get it. That's what I would say. Let's go and bloody well get it. This is it. I'm seeing a little bit too much trepidation. I'm seeing a little bit too much scared. I tweeted something out and people are like, delete, jinx. Oh, I'm pissed off. What are you on about? You're weak. You're weak. You are weak. Telling me to delete tweets saying top 4's in our hands. Bullshit. That's not what United are about. That's not what we've been about. Might have been what we've been about for the last 6 years, being bantered left, right and centre. But I tell you what, for 25 years, Manchester United, we didn't go delete when we're saying we're going to win. No, this is what it's all about. Arrogant, better, Manchester United. Go get it. This team at the moment beats Southampton, beats Crystal Palace, beats West Ham and it beats Leicester. You know it. You know it. If they don't do it, it's because we've done it ourselves. And that's it now. That's what I'm excited about. Right now, we don't need any favours of anybody. We win our games, we get Champions League football. Simple as that. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back in the morning with the chart show. The chart show that should have been today, but we had the Ollie press conference this morning. So who's going to be top of the charts? I tell you what, I think this is the best chart show we've done because it's so hard. So let's see what happens. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new.